Okay, so now we have the construction site part 2. Explanation with some videos, some short videos. Okay? Alright, so we can add that to our handbooks, our construction handbooks. Okay, one of the very important things is that we're not going to have trash, but we're going to have some places where we can collect things. All the gates gonna have a very good structure, gonna be really durable, not the gates that are being used at this construction site because get water under it. They have a hole like a bar. We're not going to have that. We're going to have gates for the pool with regular latches. People can see, very simple, not these bars going under it. Bars that are hollow inside. Those long bars that are shown there. So the other things that small trees are going to take out. We can leave a very few ones if they're really, really great pollinators and still not so tall. They have a good size. We can keep a few because our main objective is to have fruit trees that will flower in different times and give fruits, of course, in different times of the year. All our tools will be properly washed and nothing gonna be on the floor like is shown here at this video. This is a real waste of material. We're not going to have that. Anything that we don't use, we're gonna return to producers so they can be washed. Okay, any material, leftover paint or masks, everything gonna be really usable the best as possible according to our handbooks. Washed over and over and used over and over. So we'll be sustainable, safe materials in all ways as possible. We can have blinds like that, if they're in wood or very strong plastic. I think the plastic because the wood we have to paint is not sustainable anymore. So the plastic, strong, very durable, that can be done because they can last for many decades if they're really strong materials and strong twines, right? Synthetic, very strong to last for many decades. Okay, we're not going to have mops like that, buckets, carts like that yellow one because they're not needed, not useful. All the things gonna be 100% durable, not big holes like that one. Okay, so they're gonna last forever and a very, very strong, good material that won't stain and we won't bang, won't have marks if anybody put a pen or something a fast way. The tiles already talked, no longer tiles for the kitchen sink area because that's easier to wash with a very, very durable cement caulking type. Okay, so the other thing is that for parking lots I already said what we're gonna do. But for walls and columns, we are not going to have rocks of any type or tiles like this one showing here anywhere. So we're going to take all of them out or cover them up, whichever is the most sustainable for each place. Okay? Because so they won't hurt anybody, won't get dust or webs or bugs hiding on them and things like that. If the water drains like this one here, little ponds, easily drain, then it's okay, they can stay like that. If they don't, or if they're in a place that already rains too much, they need a proper, to be built, a proper swale with proper drainage, okay? And on the model is gonna be shown. Cannot have stained water like without a proper pump, right? We don't want mosquitoes anywhere, right? They're not really positive or sustainable. Any trash in land, any type, we have to take them out before we put the proper mulch for that area. That include big branches or plastics flying or paper, anything that might come from other places. We need to clean them up before we cover the area with mulch. If there is like a small woods or garden beds or flowering beds or anything, we need a clean area before we put any mulch. All flooring everywhere gonna have a perfect drainage, okay, for bathrooms that are washed, pool area, for rainwater in hallways, breezeways, everywhere. That's very important. We're not going to have metal frames or painted area under the stairs. Everyone already knows. Forbidden to put anything under stairs. They already know. It's part of our rules. Kids learn, adult learns, they never forget because they're going to be studying over and over. Okay, so they're not needed, not sustainable. Everybody already know. Nowhere we're going to have water left under stairs, on flooring, breezeway, hallways, anywhere. As I said, all flooring gonna be perfect in drainage. That's really important. Porches also need a drain hole. You know, like a drainage area without pipes. That's not sustainable, but when it rains, already draining, okay, from the porch floors. Okay, because we're not going to have water staying there, and we're also not going to have pipes because they're not needed. In the same way as the breezeways and hallways, as it rains, we already be draining because we already have good inclination for that. Okay, the water will already be draining. If someone wants, they can touch up. Residents after the rain, they can get the flat rod mops and already take any little tiny water left, but not piles of water, big water staining around. Everything gonna have perfect drainage. For remodeling and for building, while one area is already residential, people are living there. Yes, we need a fencing for the area that's construction to avoid any kids that are playing go on places they cannot go. So yes, we're going to have that for new apartments and existing apartments. Separate. Of course, not for small remodeling, like painting or new installation of water efficient items that we don't need, but for big remodeling like tractors of cement, concrete, pouring cement into dry walls, or we can also have for big items, okay, roofing. That area we have to block the streets around that building, okay? With a type of fencing that's sustainable, about a meter or a meter and a half. Does not need anything taller than that. Mostly for kids because teens can see, right? They have to pay attention. Most is for small kids though. Okay, so they won't be running in areas they can't. All gates, all doors, everything, we have to use our own hands, open them properly, use everything in a proper way. No one gonna be holding sticks or going, in a shortcut that they cannot go. They go around. If it's for them to go around and use a specific door, that's what everyone gonna do. From their residential area to their work construction area. All right, everyone gonna be dressed properly, go to the proper rooms for check-in and check-out hours in paper, and as soon as they have the bracelets connected to the wall, right, for check-in and check-out, they're already gonna be using that. And the paper gonna be used anyways, just in case we have a proper with online services. So people gonna be doing both ways. And every construction site, right by this check-in, check-out paper sheets, right? Gonna be a watch there. Even that now we can use battery, that's fine. Gonna be a clock on the wall, okay? If the construction, of course, already have some walls, all right? Or they can ask the administrator. They're gonna have a cell phone. What time is it? What time is it? And for everyone, okay? So that's very important during these 28 weeks to have everything on paper and with the bracelets for check-in, check-out, for the security on the front of the property, what time the truck came in and out, all these details. All tools will be properly washed and air dry before they place inside, right? The tool room, okay? Or the towel, the person, everyone gonna have that small towel I talk about. They can pad it quick and instead of rubbing, so the towel will last for a long time. They can just dab it in, and go. And all the tool rooms are going to have a fan for everything gonna be really dry out when it's needed. Okay, the fan gonna be placed in, and also to dry the boots, the agroforestry rubber white boots. They wash them, put there. The fan's gonna be really right there and dry the boots as well. The little towels can even be hung right at this tool area. Okay, a small clothesline and some wooden clothespins that are really, really durable and strong. And next day everything is dry, perfectly dry, because the fan's gonna be on as soon as we can install the fans connected to solar panels. All right, water bottles are only allowed in liters, right? Big bottles, like gallons, just for those 2 days or so until the water is properly installed and we can have faucets. So depends on how the size of the project, only for those 2 days or so. We don't need more than that, okay? And we are not going to have small water bottles, okay? We're only going to have purchase the water in big containers. The security guards need to be present with this water where it's filled out, in a village nearby or at the city they are, in a closed building, wherever it is. The person in charge to fill out the water containers gonna do that. The water needs to be a good city water, or even brought from a more far away location. That's fine. But the security guard needs to be there, or a security guard assistant needs to be there to make sure nothing bad gonna be placed at this water. All right? So if was a flood on the city they're getting the water from, they need to boil that water day before, 2 days before. So, and the security guards on cameras, checking cameras, need to make sure they check all where these water bottles are going until they're offered to the workers, construction workers, so we are sure the water is clean and safe to be used. In villages, or like in a new land that has a river that is clean, water will be boiled before they use. We cannot use water from river, even that the water seems clear and clean. We are not going to use them. We are going to boil them properly. In the minutes before they cool down and are placed on these big containers to be brought over. All right, the other thing is that from this location where the water will be boiling until the location of the new land construction area, if this route, it's quick, that's okay. But if it's too far away, can only be brought at 6 o'clock truck, if the truck is open, like pickup trucks. Okay, we cannot bring water in the middle of the day. That's too hot in open pickup trucks, because the plastic will go into the water, particles, right? Tiny particles. We don't want that. We need a safe water in all ways as possible. Okay, if needed, gonna use closed trucks to bring this water, so we are sure from place to place the water are placed safely. And the same way for food, we need a security guard assistant checking the food at all times, from the time they're getting to the farms until they are washed and cleaned, or items are cooked, or and brought to the construction location. Even on meals, the security guard gonna be checking everything, like for beans, lentils, if no powder was added to it. Yes, we need, proper security guards all the way. Where they were harvested, are those good places? Yes, from the harvest locations as well, even grains, legumes, fruits, salads, roots, everything, they're going to be checked at the farm, and all the route. These items will be sent to, okay, until serving time, and also afterwards. All right. For beans, we're going to do the best we can to don't have beans for more than a day, or maximum a day and a half, because they're not good. They produce gas and everything else like that. Make it fresh. Place, and also check for cameras. For the beans, they need to be kept in water overnight, right, for them to cook in the less time. So the cameras need to check, and we're gonna have timesheets for everything. People in the morning working on cameras, checking up, they're gonna do the check and gonna sign, initial their names, have their name on the side. Write initial, write their names and initial, write their names and initial. Yes, with their writing, not crazy scrumbles for signature. No, people gonna write their names, okay, and initial, because a little something is fine. Okay, and we always gonna have people checking others that are checking those items. All paperwork for everything, for food, water, work orders, everything gonna be properly checked on paper and also on cameras. Also, the production of items, where they are being made, such as furniture, padding for the furniture, everything. Yes, we're gonna have cameras right there on site. Where those materials came from, cameras there too. Where those producers are, from the door in, cameras all over. Yeah, we don't want people to be put in ships where not needed. Oh goodness, all this FBI, CIA, tiny cameras without telling people. Look, even for chargers, computer mouses, even on everywhere, not needed. Yes, we're just gonna be clear, my friends. Everyone gonna know that. Everyone gonna know. Everywhere we have tiny cameras and proper electricity cameras, connect to solar panels. We don't have to hide or don't say. None of these are needed. People already know everywhere, every tiny hole, every tiny space, according to what's needed. Not according just to be pretending or hiding. We don't need those things. Okay? People already know and we tell them. Okay, for the blinds, window blinds and porch door blinds, if they're wood, they have to be really strong wood and not painted. If they're plastic, they can be a real strong plastic. Okay, because I think the plastic will be most durable along the years. And synthetic twines. Okay, so they will last forever. Okay, they need to be cleaned twice a year for dust, wipe down really well, and really they're gonna be also thick, so their top won't easily break. They're gonna last for many decades. People that want can have a cotton curtains, right? Thick cotton curtains. That's another option as well. But they cannot be transparent. So that's why the most sustainable will be hard plastic, because the any dust or anything can be cleaned twice a year, mostly 4 times a year. No more is needed. And the cotton curtains need to be washed often, can get stains from the dust and less sustained, but people can have them, yes. And also the cotton will be burned with the sun, so they won't last too many years. So the people that want cotton curtains, they can have inside of the apartments, not as the first option that really gonna be wood or plastic. And for the wood, I still have to check with professionals to see if they're really gonna be sustainable or not, which one gonna last more decades, and then we can give answers on these details that are already placed in here. On that apartment that we keep tools, I showed you there an orange mesh, like a netting type for construction. We're not going to use that because that's not needed. People are just going to be careful on the construction materials. We're just going to have the child safety fence, about 1.5 meters or so, that is reusable over and over. It's not needed anymore. Send to the next construction. People are gonna have sign in, sign out, and make it available as soon as possible. Finish that day. 5 o'clock, it's already in a truck leaving for the next construction place, right? To be delivered on the same day or early next morning for the next needed location, instead of having tractors, trucks, or anything else, trailers, materials, right? Because we're going to share materials the best as possible for everyone. For the apartments, we cannot have swales or ponds too close to the apartment, so it won't give humidity along the decks for these apartments. We need at least 5 or 10 meters. The proper amount of meters is going to be given by professionals in the area. But we cannot have any swale, any pond, made or not, too close. And we need a very, very strong construction underneath, with at least 1.5 meters concrete of base under all those apartments. So we will avoid any problem, and really deep, maybe 1 meter deep, of concrete, to avoid anything, like the wood shake, and some countries shake too much. I'm not talking about that, those areas that shake too much. I'm talking about regular things, So at least a meter deep, and at least I think 2 meters out, with proper drainage. So we're sure no termites, no, and no humidity will get under those constructions. So we need some space. I think 2 meters all around each building. And for under it, I think 1 meter. Because we have to think, we're building those buildings for millennia, not for a few decades. Okay? All right. The shaking areas that I'm talking about are places close to collection of rocks, mines that they put dynamite, right, for rock extraction, underground rock extraction. So they shake buildings for miles. They shake buildings, okay? So we're gonna collect everything we need and stop production of those places. Leave some extra, right? And have proper locations where they can be taken out, but they are not going to be close to any buildings, because with time they crack their walls and everything. And as I already said, all walls will be made out of concrete and not regular walls. Playgrounds are not going to be covered. Maybe just that 1 meter by 1 for fun on the second level for kids to pretend it's a little house, a little tent, that's fine. But not like they do in many parks with synthetic fabric or anything like that. Okay, the playground's gonna have hardwood only from the closest place as possible, from their own land or nearby land, and built by professionals, proper trained. Okay, they're gonna be really strong, so kids until 14 years old can play on them. Can have the areas for the little kids and some areas for the older children and young teens. 15 years old and older are not going to use those areas. So the garden beds, correction, improvement for what I said before, cannot be too close to the apartments, right? You need at least these 2 meters I'm talking about of underneath cemented area. It can be pathways, maybe 1 meter will be enough, right? From the buildings, I don't know. We need professionals to say that. All around. So the sun comes, dry really well. Maybe one meter under the buildings and 1 meter far away from the buildings. Around the buildings have all this 1 meter, or 1.5 meter sidewalks, let's say. They're not really sidewalks, more like protection, but they can be used for sidewalks as well. People can put their garden tools and things like that. Trees need to have a good study on the root system. How? Because we have fruit trees of all types, right? And we can also have some flowering trees that, it's beautiful. And some of them are large and beautiful. We can have some, and some are great pollinators. So depending on the area we can have those trees to boost pollination, or to make it beautiful. We can have that. But every single fruit tree or flowering tree, pollination tree, and I have a study on how is their root system, how big they can reach, so we are sustainable. And of course, no tree is going to be close to buildings. Okay, that's one of our rules. They need to be at least 5 meters away, I believe, because we're not going to have palm trees all over. That's not sustainable. So we need those trees, but they're going to be really far away. So the ones that 4 meters away from the building is the clear area, right? Nothing with big root system, only vegetables, things like that, that's fine. Okay? All the fruit's going to be really far away. And also the way we water those trees is going to have a system and explanation on the other department, Department 5, for the way we water them as they get structured, the way we plant them, to promote the roots to go down and not be horizontally, going horizontally. Because also depends on the way we transplant. So tall trees that are already 2 meters or even higher, that we can use them, that's fine. Bring from good nurseries, of course the ones that are not potted for a long time. The root system when we are planting need to be really well done. To be done, promote them to go down, to reach water, and not sideways, horizontally. At the pool area and around the property, we can have some gazebos. If they're really well made, very strong, hard wood, okay, very strong top roofing system to last for many decades. That's very important. The water on rainy season, I think gonna have to drain. We're gonna say how many hours to be sustainable, or proper swales need to be built. So the amount of hours gonna be set for each. We're gonna find professionals how that's sustainable. As soon as they don't stay too long to have mosquito breeding, right? So I think that's one of the main causes. But other than that, I think the water can stay a little bit, as soon as does not exceed this very day, 2 days or so. All street drains during construction will be covered with fabric, so the water can drain, but no sand and no particles of construction items, not even screws, will be going into drains. So the fabric needs to be placed really, really well. And with a small dustpan, a brush, right? Sweeping small brush, hand brush, with a little dustpan, be swept around every time rain comes and have something there. Okay, so we're gonna have them always clean. And on the side, they need at least 20 centimeters after the edge, tucked in on the drain during all construction, and even after 1-2 weeks after construction is complete, to make sure everything on the whole property is properly drained, from the construction, and also for mulch, for the first few rains, for us to really pay attention on these big street drains. On areas that are having construction will be finished at the end, like in a non-rainy season, those fabrics gonna stay there until the rainy season starts. Why is that? For us to make sure when the big storms come, the drains are properly covered, so they can stay for a whole month, to make sure that the mulch is not swimming around with the rain, right? So they're very important for us to have those. The other thing is that for water going into pipes, they need to have a proper nets or something that can be checked once a week or so, rainy season. Okay? So we're gonna have always our pipes really clean. Also for water spouts. We are not going to have any tree close to roofs. That's already written in our handbooks. So the spouts, so for water spouts, we have some exterior options instead of inside water to drain inside pipes. We can have like some construction. Some countries, they have like a piece of chain and the water drains right there. Because this way no leaves, nothing gonna be tucked inside, or animals like rodents, nothing. So I think that's the most sustainable. So the water coming from roof goes to this look like a chain. We can figure out options, but they're gonna be falling, guided by those chains away from the construction area. Okay, the storm is out, all done, good, dry, clean. You're not going to have water spouts from roof in pipes because they're not needed. Okay, great. All existing apartments to be remodeled, gonna have a very good study first of the best option they have for those apartments. For example, for apartments that have 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, what are we gonna do with them? If they're too big, gonna divide. If they are 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, we can have 3 and 1, 3 and 1, right? Because on 3 gonna live families, on 1 gonna be older couples. Okay? And this is for the family department. If there is only one elder, they're not going to the apartments of married couples that already live in one bedroom, because that's not sustainable, right? To have one whole bedroom for one. What I'm saying is, it's not sustainable to have one bedroom for an elder. Okay, so elders can marry again, or they're gonna live with one of their children that have families, so they can be in a living room, for example. Tuck in their bed in the morning and they're done, and leave the bedroom for the children. Okay, so the study for each apartment can also be breaking walls, making extra walls, right? Placing extra doors or taking doors out, whichever it is. We are not going to have bathrooms that are shared with common area or that are shared with 2 bedrooms. Okay, every bathroom gonna have only one door. Okay, because that's the most sustainable. Married couples gonna have their own bathroom that are not shared with everyone. They need to have their bathrooms just for themselves. And for the children, bedroom, that is okay. They can be inside like a suite, right, inside their bedrooms, or they can be outside, open to the corridor. Okay, because if they're open to the corridor, it's better, because even the parents can wash their hands there or something before they go eat or something like that. They don't have to go all the way inside their bedroom. Okay, and couples bedroom that are suites for sure needs to be locked all day, all the time. Okay, if they are not right there, the door, doing something, so children won't go inside, do anything for them there, I mean. So on these small villages, while the new families are arriving and preparing themselves nearby, or big cities, whichever they are, until they go to the construction area they're designated to go, they're going to study at their age group. right? That's the first place everyone gonna be going. Okay, it's by age, on their proper age, and they're gonna take extra classes needed in the afternoon, depending on their needs to be, properly on that class. Okay, so they're gonna be in school a whole day anyways, because in the morning or afternoon the parents work, and in the morning or afternoon the parents need to study for themselves. Okay, so whichever area they need more games, play games, they need more English or math, or whichever they need, science, what they're going to be doing. They're going to stay at school the whole day until parents come. All right, the end of construction area is 6 p.m., right? So depending on where this village is, for example, in a city you're going to be close by, it's okay. They're going to be in hotels, for example. But if it's a small village, it might take even 1 hour for them to arrive there. So the people that are taking care of them will already do the best they can for them, their needs, such as have dinner ready, so as soon as the parents arrive, they can already eat together, things like that. So the people, the monitors that are already helping them, and they can help as well, prepare dinner. So the parents gonna eat with them, as soon as they arrive. And some can eat first, if it's already 7 o'clock, they can eat first before they go to their own their own location, before they take the shower. They take a quick shower, so some groups can go take a quick shower and then eat, and some groups can do the other way around. Okay? But they are going to have dinner with their parents and not without them. That's very important. On those small villages, I'm saying small village is a term, but can be a small city, okay, or other location. The monitors that are taking care of them on that location, will also can guide the kids. They can take showers, because you're going to have 8. That's too many. Imagine 8 kids going to take a shower. Going to be 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So they can already take a shower. If the parents are really arriving only by 7 o'clock, they can already take their showers. Okay? The monitors will be guiding them. Okay, now the boys go, now the girls, now another team of boys, another team of girls. And be doing the families this way, so they are clean when the parents come, for them to have dinner and be ready, little kids by 8 o'clock. And for middle school and high school, they can go to bed at 9 o'clock. Once I'm talking about those kids studying, they will continue after the 28 weeks. They will continue at their grade level by age and not by what they studied before, because we have thousands of kids in old countries saying that the kids were too smart and they jump a grade and this and that. No, probably they didn't play enough, and that's important for them. So everyone will be placed by age, and every kid, as soon as they register, before they go to their new country, they will already have their bracelets. Okay, from infants to teens, young adults, elders, and parents, everyone will already have their bracelets, irremovable bracelets, before they leave their own location, their own city, before they get any airplane to go anywhere. Okay, because then we have track of that family from the place they left all the way until these new lands are being built for them. Okay, so I have the track of that family, their practices, everything, connected to the number of that ship, that bracelet. For all of us, even the headquarters gonna use them. Everyone gonna use them, because that's the only way we track families in a proper way all the way along those years. Okay, so metal benches that are very, very strong and durable are fine. So we're not going to have office doors on the side. We're just going to have doors on the front. Okay, so because offices usually are built by pools, but many communities have offices not extra door. We're not going to have that. One main door at the front. People go around and go to the office when it's needed. Soap dispenser like this one is very important to be sustainable. We don't have coffee signs like coffee. Okay, so let's talk about this small bathroom and this coffee area that I just showed you. So the bathroom not going to have stainless steel trash because they're not needed. Just a small stainless steel place at the wall for feminine items, right? That they're gonna be burned, covered properly in toilet paper and be burned at the end of the day. We are not going to have that scent bag or any other type in baskets or dry seeds, with a natural or synthetic scent because they're not needed. Okay, all the bathrooms going to have good ventilation, as already said, and light from outside, a window for sure. Okay? So for the coffee area, we're not going to have coffee pots or coffee area signs or these small coffee little containers. None of that's needed. They're all gonna be if the place already have residential communities on the places like churches in these villages, they're gonna be receiving people, right? If they already have coffee makers, they can use them during the whole 28 weeks. That's fine before they recycle them, because that's sustainable, right? They can make big quantities, but not the coffee makers that use those small plastic cups like was shown on that picture, because they're really not sustainable. They have aluminum lids and that's not good. But if it's any other regular coffee maker, that's fine, because it's going to be a large amount of people, so we can use those things while they're needed. In the same way it's for blenders, that we're going to be making soaps with them and blend plants, right? We can use those that we already have, and after that only for the ones that are authorized, like blenders. We're going to use blenders a long time for soap making, okay? But only at the adult education centers. Everyone needs to have a good amount of toilet paper, so we don't have to keep ordering, buy. No, already buy the most as possible. They have storage, of course, right? To avoid these delivering trucks to come too often. So everyone will make a plan for the month, okay? While it's being built, people are staying in these small cities or villages, okay? To have the most sustainable, and also in trailers in a construction area, to have soap, toilet paper, dry food, nuts, seeds, everything that's possible, roots to be planted, roots to eat, right? Turmeric, ginger, all these things. So the first plan will be to deliver everything for a month. That's the most basic. And then as soon as the storage is available for 2 months, 4 months, and then the whole year until the end of the 28 weeks, 2022. And as soon as everything is built, organized, we have all our rooms probably done, apartments, new lands, everything done. We're going to have provision for the dry items for the whole 2023 for every family, because the farmers are going to start closing them down. We avoid transportation. So because every family going to have at least 6 months, right, of dry food provisions. So we want to have distribution trucks all over, help so many people. And then a sustainable way, people are going to start having their own. But we're going to have for the whole 2023 dry food, grains for everyone, all the families. Okay, start saving now. Okay, because to be sustainable, because we need grains. For one whole year, I think that's sustainable. Okay? All right, that's very good. Okay, so here's the changing table. So for places that already have them, we're gonna take out the handicap bathroom and place the changing table right there, because so parents don't have to go all the way to their apartment, right, from the clubhouse to change their babies if it's a lunch, a dinner, or pool time. Okay, that's very sustainable. Also, dryers are not going to be those huge dryers. It's gonna be small, sustainable, very strong dryers, hand blowers. All right, and we're not going to cover the underneath the sink of the bathrooms like shown. All right, so this is dining room of the clubhouse that we're not going to have anything that is in here. You see those chairs I just showed, they have a weak foot. You see those also. We're not going to have them. We're not going to have negative books or objects like that, or stainless steel refrigerators or microwave. None of these we're going to have. They're not needed, not sustainable. Okay? Also, not books about carpet or objects like this one. We're gonna have a sink. Yes, we're gonna have a sink, but two sinks for the inside area, because they're gonna be wash vegetables outside, but inside for delicate, items. So those white chairs we're not going to have. I already showed the type of chairs we're going to have. No trash cans anywhere, because we're just gonna have peelings for the compost. No black chairs like this. Legs, round legs. No plastic flowers or division between couches. None of this. This nightclub look we're not going to have. Okay, all these black things on the back needs to be taken out. These objects, these planters, plastic plants, all out. And we're not going to have couches, because for us to have more a familiar place, we're not going to have we can have a very few, these small tables there for 2 people, because we're going to have young couples, right, from 15 to 22, so they can meet. And even the couple themselves, they can meet a special day while the grandparents are watching their kids. They can have that. That's fine. A few of them, and also some larger tables for families. We're not going to have couches like that and tables like that, because it's not needed. Okay, it's a style that's not needed. Not black tables, not shiny tables like that. Only white, in a most sustainable material like marble or even man-made items. We're not going to have light lamps like that. They're transparent, they're hard to wash, they get dirty very easy, right? Even the wind. So we're gonna have the regular white ones twice a year. They are clean, properly clean, and that's it. We're not going to have shelving like it showed there, that's too high, and not mirrors as well. They're not needed. Wall mirrors, nowhere. We're gonna have mirrors on in the bathroom. That's needed. That's it. Okay, so all this nightclub look gonna be out. Okay, those doors are not going to have those pressure locks. People go and close them. People go and open them, and have the proper clip door holders. Okay, the high chairs that I just showed there, we're not going to have any high chair, any high benches. They're not needed, not sustainable. Here I'm just showing some details that were really not well made. And you see, that's a crack on a wall. Look, we are here in Florida. We don't even have mines of extraction of things that make the soil shake. And the wall's already cracked. It was really bad made. We have to pay attention to details. So the floor people team with the wall team needs to have a proper way of completing it properly. You know, these details where they meet each other. All right, all these details. Okay, because that's not my part. Oh, that's not my part. No, it's everyone our part to make it neat, a proper neat conclusion. And they're not going to have holes where the floor and the wall meets, need a proper caulking that will last for many decades. Okay, a proper ending there, because even that can have some movement there. Okay, this is a window, a glass that's already scratched. Imagine, they didn't even still building it, and it's already scratched. So we have to be sure our tiles are always very, very clean, to don't scratch anything. Okay, this is a very bad conclusion there of the items. You see where the counter meets the board, the wall boards. So we have to do it in a proper way to really finish, have a good finish to it, and not like bad done like that. So they will complete in a proper, good looking way. So all these marks, these stains from the counter, see how many points in there? Did not come out with soap and water. So we cannot also use bleach on that white counter because it's gonna take the shiny out of it. Okay, so that's also part of the cleaning handbook. So we need the proper place to have the proper material to make those counters to don't be so easily stainable. Okay, so here we are showing some couches at the pool area that we're not going to have. It's not needed, not sustainable. Not these side tables as well, because we don't need them. Okay, none of those. They are not sustainable. We need proper fencing, about 1.5 meters around the pool, just for children, young children. That's our main objective. Not too high because that's not needed. So I think about 1 meter or 1.5 meters, gonna give you definition afterwards. Okay, that's the gym. We already talked about that. We're not going to have any signs at the gym like that, any machines. They're all gonna be sent to be recycled. Okay, and we can use those locations. They'll be used as a meeting rooms. They also can be used for training rooms and rainy days, storage rooms until construction are properly completed. All these balls can be used at the pool, of course. You see those big balls there? Can be used at the pool while they last, but we are not going to have new ones made. So we're gonna save all these pool toys in a proper location. So, and these weights as well gonna be recycled. But the pool toys that I was talking gonna be placed in a proper location. No trash cans at the meeting. So we're not going to have trash cans anywhere, right? We're not going to produce trash. About the pool toys and balls, gonna be placed in a location that they can easily be stored safe from the wind, so balls won't be going out. And also people can place them back instead of every apartment to have those items there. Okay, and people gonna share all their duties everywhere and what they're doing. Okay, the pool door with the metal bar, we're not going to have that because it gets rusted. We don't need anything hollow. We're going to have a simple latch at the pool door. And also for the chickens, the chicken area, we're we're gonna have proper fencing for them, not where they sleep. Where they sleep, gonna have a ceiling net as well. But where they walk, and places that they cannot go, can have a fence, a metal strong fence with a simple latch that very strong. Simple, I mean it's small, but very strong and durable. At the bathroom, I didn't say earlier, we're not going to have signs that say employee must wash hands before return to work, because that's not right. Everyone is to wash hands after using the bathroom, right? That's the only way. Okay, so for the tap that we can press and stay a few seconds on, we might have that one. I have to check with you afterwards to make sure we can use them, but definitely the ones that the people turn in and out. For bathrooms of large places such as educational sites, I think the tap, a bathroom tap that we can press, gonna be good. We have to see what's the estimate, how many decades they can be used. So we will be avoiding sharing germs, and people do not have to turn them off. But for sure, we are not going to have the taps that I showed you earlier, the ones that have a little sensor, because those sensors do not work all the time, and they have bad quality and they're not needed. But I think the ones that we press and they shut off in 10 or 20 seconds, I think that's sustainable. So we're gonna give an answer on that. The answer is for bathroom sink faucet, that we press it for timing. Okay, so in this area we're showing these high chairs that we're not keeping. First, because they're high chairs. Second, the material is too fragile. So we don't need, and we cannot have anything that's fragile, because they're gonna break soon and won't last many decades, as we are talking about. That's the door I'm talking about. It's already rusted. You see that bar there? It's already rusted. The other problem here is that the pool beds, right? That's the rusted bar. The pool beds go right into that drain. It's not enough room, from the pool to the fence. This type of weaving plastic we're not going to have. First, they're not sustainable. We need something only that is very durable. The other thing is that it's stable. The water does not drain. It's a thing underneath. So we have to turn the table for the water to drain. It's not right. The other thing here is that you see these drains all dirty. We need people from their own community to be cleaning, checking, and when it's stormy days, soon after, so won't clog, because when it's clogged, the water won't go through and might break in a shorter time all the drainage. We're not going to have those pool signs, because everyone gonna know already that the rules and regulations will be the same for all pools of all countries. Okay, so here you see the foot of these beds, pool beds, are right there in a drain, because they don't have enough space at the end of those chairs to the pool, right there, not enough room, and that's not good, because the beds right on a drain can damage the drain. Okay, so that's something that we have to be really careful. And all the beds gonna be in this material that's very sustainable. Okay, pools and not be too deep. I think on the deepest part we can have 1.5 meters, 1.5 meters, and for the shallow area can be start with 0.5 meter, And this way the children are gonna feel safe. They don't need so deep pools. We don't need that. Not sustainable. Okay, so you see the sunny there, because I didn't show the ceiling, have some openings. That's okay, for more light on this type of outside kitchens. You see the ceiling is open. We can have that. And we're not going to have the back board for filling up bottles. The tiles here too dark for the bathroom. We need lighter ones. And all this paint is flat. We cannot have paint flat anyways. We're going to have satin, glossy, right? So it's easier to wipe down inside, and outside is easy to wash with a hose or something. Okay? And so we're going to have cameras on the common area. We have to see where we're going to place them. And the tiny cameras in other outside, and on the common areas we can have that. That's the type we're not having, a sensor. It's a little glassy sensor. Those does not work properly sometimes. They easily break. Those are the ones that we're not going to have. Okay? So sometimes I checked one of them, even a meter away they were turning on. I was 1 meter away. So we don't need them. Also, flooring tile needs to be clear. If they're dark gray, we cannot have them. They have to be really clear. And the changing table for babies, for infants, need to be really, really strong to last many decades and won't dry out with the time. So we can have them for a long time. All the bathrooms gonna be open on the bottom, not side to side, but on a door. That's not too low. That's important. That's I was showing 1 meter away was turning on. So that's very important for us to have this hole on a bathroom door. Just in case something happens, it's easy for a person to get in or get out. But from side to side, just a little space. But for the water to don't be getting too close, so they will last for a long time, because we're going to wash those bathrooms every week. And high-use bathrooms is daily, like educational sites and residential communities on vacation days. Needs to be washed daily, because too many people walking around. Need to disinfect the faucets, the doorknobs, and things like that. Okay, so we have everything properly done. The toilet I just showed was for handicap. We're not going to have that. We're just going to have regular, normal toilets that, of course, are very durable and water efficient. So when people are doing the water efficient changes on the apartments, they have to do the whole property, including the bathrooms, right, and sinks of the office, the pool area, everything. Okay, so all of them, change them all. And the other thing is that the pool kitchen area always need a sink, 2 or 4. So if it's 4, it's for the ones that bring in veggies with dirt to be washed properly, and the water can drain right to the gardens. And here mistakes, look, they didn't even take out the notes they made, the numbers, sharp tiles right there by the faucet, and bad finishing right there at the end. And that's the countertop that's already stained for some reason. Unbelievable, but it's already stained a few places. Okay, so I was saying, when you change the water efficient things, changing the whole property, make sure to count them really perfectly, so you can have all the faucets, all the toilets redone properly. When people are going to be doing the apartment changing the plugs for the ones connected to solar panels, make sure all of them, the whole property, are counted, taken out, do the proper job, take the wires out, and count and connect only the ones that we really need as listed. Here's some cabinetry on the outside kitchen, but this part, it's covered, so it's fine. Soon as do not have a big entrance, because we're going to have less storms with time as the trees grow. We're going to have rain, but in a more harmonious way. But until that point, we have to be safe for things. We have on the outside kitchen. The outside kitchen on a part that's covered, you can have like this apartment there, so it's good. Oh, that's what we're not going to have. Two places that are too close together, like a column and a passage. Did you see? It was very narrow. It was not even a meter. So every passage going by pillars need to be at least a meter far away. That's one pool umbrella that already broke. The thing was not even inaugurated, the whole property. This other part of the property, not even inaugurated, already broke with the storm. So, because people make things that are not durable, right? But we're gonna make it better this time, and everything we're gonna do will be properly made and very, very durable. So, for the signs, exit here, as I just showed some of them, in residential communities, we don't need any sign like that. Everyone gonna know where exits are. They're gonna live there. And people coming on the first time, they will learn in a few hours, a few days, gonna learn all the exits where they are. They're not gonna have fire anywhere. So for a theater, then it's different. Auditorium, people only go sometimes at their children's school, and then it's okay. For theater, that might get dark, but nothing of that gonna happen, because everything gonna be connected right to the ceiling and have electricity from the solar panels. And every apartment, every building, everywhere gonna have proper batteries that gonna last for many decades. The batteries to keep electricity gonna be placed in everywhere that's really important, right? And be safe on places that are really not very important. Okay, so we can have electricity even on winter time. So we need those big batteries to retain, to store electricity. Okay? And also we need a detail on the specialists on how we can do on places that are too gray, because some cold countries are very cloudy. Some places are better, sunny, but some are very cloudy for many days. So what we're gonna do? Do we need electricity for those very cold countries or areas or not? How long we can store electricity? Electricity is it's used a lot during winter for the heaters, right? So we're gonna make a study on what we're gonna do for cold areas. But on warm areas, I believe we're fine. We can store some. If a storm comes, already goes away, and then, we will have enough electricity. Everyone gonna learn. It's not part of this department, but many little things I'm already saying. And then the person getting those information will place in a proper department. So the other thing is that everyone of all ages, 4 years old and up, gonna start learning, and and elementary will know for sure. Elementary students and above, 8 years old and above, second graders, right? Gonna already know. First, second graders will already know everything. How much electricity they need for a shower of 5 minutes, for a shower of 10 minutes. So they give value and won't be in a situation of not knowing. The main thing is us to know, be aware of things, have proper information to change our habits for a good reason. Okay, because it's not sustainable to bring electricity, power, right, from other cities, far away, other states. Make no sense. Okay, so that's for all this about power. Also, like for pools to be heated, how are we going to do that in cold countries or even subtropical countries, right, on winter time? How are we going to do that? And for cold areas on fall, springtime. Okay, so for the pool, right, for the pool to be warm up during winter time, how many solar panels we need according to the size of the pool, things like that. And I think it is sustainable for us to have some solar panel for cold countries, cold areas, cold regions during spring and fall times. I think it's worth it. We can store electricity and maybe twice a week, right? For people to swim, or during the breaks, right? The spring and the fall breaks, the whole week of break. I think that's sustainable as well, because our pools, we're gonna use our pools the best as possible, because it's very healthy for kids to play, be outside and work out and have fun. Pools are a great gift. But on cold regions, we are not making more pools because I think it won't be so much needed. So, or we can make smaller ones and share days with families on those breaks I said, and also on winter break, right, and spring break, so they can use but can share timing. And because it's not sustainable to have very big pools on these cold areas, they can do other type of playtime in a playground, right? Play set we're gonna have and things like that. The other thing is that in the property we can have some little tables, right, so families can go and sit. Some gazebos already mentioned, some tables without a roof, some in a roof, right, here and there, one or another. Very pretty, very, very strong, hardwood, made out of hardwood, and so people can sit and have a little time there, can have their, a meal there, or even for 15 years old and older to have a little time with their boyfriend or girlfriend, right? For couples to be together sometimes while the grandparents watch the kids. So we can have a few areas like that, some different areas, right, for people to have their space. I think that's really nice and sustainable. For the communities that are being remodeled, and also, okay, let's talk about remodel first. As soon as the team leader and then afterwards the department director is going to take over, already start getting people in charge of each different need of that community. So what happens is that for pool, for cleaning the pool bathroom, everything. Who gonna be sweeping, who gonna be the streets after storm, who gonna do that. So we have a chart and people gonna get used to their activities as soon as possible, start being in charge of things. Because after the organization launching day, nobody from outside gonna get inside. So these people have to be living at the community, already have their training if they're new to it, or if they already have experience in that area, to do it really properly and get it organized, get it set up, and have things neat and organized. The other thing is that's very important, people using things, put them back in place right away after use. And check in, check out sheets. They will write their names, have the initial because that's not so important, and have the cameras on the tool rooms and everything as soon as possible. For existing communities that already have mailboxes, all of them will be taken out. Okay? Because everyone can get their documentation at the city office or the location that are offering that document, that paperwork. And of course, every new community won't have any mailboxes of any type. The delivery trucks come, drop it off by the entrance, and then the community gonna have their carts to bring a few items in. Okay, so when construction is completed, no trucks will be coming in and out. For the construction materials, they're gonna drop off in the designated location, because some property is going to be huge, right? And they're going to get in only if it's really needed, like for materials or for the containers, right? For trailers, for people on the street sleep, or with materials inside. But if it's not needed, they're gonna drop off at the main entrance already, for us to have the least as possible drivers driving around. Security guards gonna check all these trucks delivering items. The ones that are gonna stop at the main entrance, and also the ones that are gonna drop off construction materials and need to go inside the property. As I said, gonna check the IDs, the documentation, the items they're carrying, time check-in, time they left the property, and everything like that. Okay, all the toilets are not going to be like the one I showed you a little bit before, that has a big pipe coming from the toilet. We're gonna have those with the tank on the back. I think that's the most sustainable. Okay, as no one gonna break the lid of those water containers, right? They're gonna be really durable. The other thing is for the flushing. All of them gonna be really water efficient, have that pressure on all toilets, okay? And where is needed, pipes gonna be redone if the community is too old, or if the plastic used, they're gonna check in a few areas. If the plastic used was not good, like some countries, so they're gonna take all out and put very, very strong and durable new pipes for everything. Right? Because that's the moment. We are remodeling everything everywhere. So also for old pipes, or pipes that were not really adequate, they're going to be changed and have very strong and durable and proper size according to our handbooks for everything, in centimeters, everything, how wide, everything done a proper new way. Also for the septic landfills, how to do it, for how many people, where to do it, and all these details. So we are really organized using very efficient, positive, and sustainable materials and techniques. Because what was done 50 years ago, we know better now, right? In some areas. So everything gonna be done a real good way. All the outside lights for breezeway, hallways, streets, and pool, not pool area because nobody's gonna be there at night, but gonna have sensors for the light. As soon as the sun comes in the morning, they're turned off. No light's gonna stay on during the day. Okay, we need very durable sensors. All toilets everywhere, in pool areas, schools, and everything, gonna have 2 or 4 bathrooms. Okay, there's no need, no one gonna have 3 for sure, and where needed can have 6, but nowhere gonna need 8, that's for sure. Okay, for people to change clothes, that's important for them to have a small changing room, like a small, this area for the toilet, but it's a changing room with hooks there, because we're gonna have cameras on the common areas. So at schools, when they change to put the bathing suit, or pool areas, then to communities, and also some business where they, can change appropriately on these changing areas, like clinics, right? When they're doing their exams, they're not going to change in the bathroom. They're going inside, changing little rooms with hooks, and the clothes they're gonna wear. Rooms that were made for handicap can have there the infant changing table for diapers. When washing water fountains, the person needs to use baking soda for the stainless steel, right, to give a good shine, a few drops of soap, wash it well, and rinse it. Done. Okay. If it was a big storm and came pieces of not mulch but pieces of debris, natural debris, the person can brush them off, and the last option will be to use a cotton towel only if really needed, because if used on that, because of people's germ, need to be boiled afterwards, right, the towel, because we're not using bleach if it's not needed. But if the person can wipe out with a brush, will be the most sustainable and take all the natural debris that might came with the storm. So people will avoid using any towel, the cleaning towel, at those drinking fountains. Otherwise, they have to be boiled. And don't use anywhere until they're boiled, because so it won't have germs spread. Only if it's around, but if it's inside the area, that we need, because of people's germ, for us to avoid and have proper hygiene, of course. But around, it's okay. For dust or things, wipe around, not where the water drain. That's okay, and the towel can be washed soap and water and can continue to be used. It's not for this department, but once I'm ready here, let's get it done. Any caulking of any type, any grouting, gonna be really, really strong and durable, made out of very good materials. We're gonna explain for the producers, that's an item for department 2, but I'm already saying how they're gonna be made, so they will last for many, many decades, hundreds of years, without having mold, or and also for them to be easy to be washed. For restaurants and educational sites, I'm still thinking if we are going to put, if that's necessary to put caulk inside the cabinetry to avoid ants and cockroaches or not. So this we're still thinking about, and I will let you know afterwards, to be really sustainable and avoid the pest control, right? Because if we have each cabinetry really locked, we have more chances of those pests to don't be coming around, okay? The other thing is for mites, right? We are going to have proper chemicals, and they're natural, the best as possible, but that work around all the buildings, okay? For us to have the wood really to last a long, long time. What I said earlier about concrete, I think it's important to have concrete, but I don't know how it's the level for concrete and cement. For us to have 1 meter under the buildings and 1 meter on a side walk around the buildings to be very durable. So, but we're gonna let you know, because 1 meter of concrete for every building, that's really, really a lot. But we are making things to last for millenniums. So I think it will be worth it. So this detail we're going to let you know afterwards. Because some places do not have a very strong base, like Florida, or even places that have earth shakes a lot, like in Mexico City, right? So for sure those places gonna have concrete, but for other places like high altitude places, in some countries that are far from the beaches, for example, I think cement will be enough. On the residential community, on the outside kitchen that's on a covered area, we can have the TV screen there, because in tropical and subtropical countries, because most likely they will rather watch those movies outside instead of inside on the meeting rooms that we have as well. So, or we can have, depending how many, right, we can have one outside on this kitchen and one inside. So every Friday night people can watch a family movie. That's fine. Or a documentary. Every other week we're gonna change, right? So we're going to have 2 documentaries a month and 2 family movies a month. And I think on the weekends that we have 5 5 Fridays, let's say, I think we can leave one for young couples, so they can have fun. Unmarried and married, I think it's okay because soon they're gonna be home. Of course, for those that live there, that have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, part of that same community. And also for young adults that do not have children yet, or they just have a baby and grandparents are watching them because they're going to be right there. An hour and a half, usually it's how long the movies last, right? Documentaries are very different, but and then they're going to be home soon after, right? So I think that's really sustainable. The other thing is that outside can be even by the pool area. So if we have the TV screen that's about a meter, we don't need more than that. We don't need those huge screens that are not necessary. Some people can stay closer, some are far away, right? And watch the movie there. We're going to have speakers, okay? And the speakers can also be used during the day, vacation days, with different music already set up. People put online and have some different variety of music. And we're also going to have some quiet days, like during the week when children are at school. So we can also learn how to have fun in a quiet way, talk to our spouses if they're elders, for example. They don't have school that day. Or for people that just want to listen nature, the birds. These are important too. But we can have music like on school day. We can have music in the end of the day. For example, 5 to 7, we can have music. Saturdays and Sundays afternoon, for example, leave the morning for the families that want quiet. We can do things like that. Or every 2 hours, music, no music, music, no music. So we have a variety of options for families that want to enjoy the pool and also the playground, right? I think that's really good. The other thing is that is very, very important for all communities to have walls all around, tall, thick, very thick walls, boards that they slide through and connect to the base, slide through and connect to these posts, right, to the base. And I don't know how much they put in grounds, but they are very good, very sustainable. They come ready, they just need to be really careful made. So these walls and also the front gate need to be really close for no animals to get inside the property. Raccoons and all these other, animals, mammals of all sizes, and wild cats and things like that. Because we want the property without those animals. We don't need them. What we need in our gardens, for our gardens to grow healthy, are bacteria, right? Different types of bacteria, a great environment with a biodiverse, natural microbes. So for the whole property, even around the woods, because every residential community is going to have some woods, right? So we won't have those animals. That's very important. So we have to see what type of gate is sustainable for trucks to be coming in and make their deliveries, or if they're going to stop right there before they get inside the gates for food afterwards, right? Food and once a month items. So we won't have any of those animals, okay? Because during the day we're going to have our chickens free. And we can't have big animals around our chickens, right? So they're safe. At night, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the chicken's going to be placed inside. Or even 4 o'clock during winter time, they're going to be placed inside where it's so fenced all around, even the ceiling, for no jumping animals to get to them, because they're very important for us, right? Okay, we're also gonna have a place to clean up the chickens, because all males are gonna be used for families that want to eat them. Okay, and we can also have extra chickens to be raised there once we have a big communities, and we are going to have a lot of earthworms and bugs for them to eat, because we have these woods as well, gonna help to give more biodiversity to the area. So we need chickens to clean them up outside. The feathers gonna be burnt because they take too long to be decomposed. So we can burn them, use the ashes for the plants that need them. And the family is gonna be cleaning them up, right? Families that want, it's fine. They're gonna be on a list, right? The following families every Saturday. They're gonna have how many? It's 5, it's 10, 20. How many chickens will be ready for the following families that sign it up? Because chicken is also a good source of protein in places that do not have much fish. Okay, so this is a good, sustainable, and positive, right? But everywhere need this outside sink where those items going to be clean, those chickens and fish, and they bring them, so they won't be cleaning them inside their homes, because there is blood from chickens. There are things that are not needed. Okay, so we are going to be really clean, and then they're going to bring to their house when it's already, take out all the fish scams, right? And take out all the get out the feathers from the chickens and things like that. And we have raccoons at the pool today. How's that? So all raccoons gonna be extinct as well. We don't need them, right? And all other mammals that are not positive for any reason on the region or everywhere. So we're gonna have a big list of mammals and other animals going to be extinct, because we really don't need them, or because they're not positive, or because they really don't look good, or because they can't evolve spiritually. Okay, so those are the main factors, and they're just going to be on a list of extinction. It's not part of this department, so please put there on the department. Okay, at the department 1. Okay, so all animals, even alligators, and all mammals that are on the list of being extinct, people can eat. People that want can eat them. That's fine. It's up to them. Or wild boars, because even some beaches have wild boars. Or cows in India that were sacred. They're dying. They're so skinny. They don't even have much meat. But if people need or want, yeah, sure, they can go ahead and eat them, right? Or alligator that tastes like fish a little bit, more chewy, but things like that. If it's safe, authorized on that county, because we don't want any problem with meat that's not safe to be eaten. It's very important for people to check all the animals on their county website. Okay, they go there and check which ones they can, which ones they cannot. Otherwise, they can kill them and have to bury them. Okay, or send them to be incinerated if they're sick. Okay, and not just bury them, because we don't want anything bad, give any chances for anything bad to be close to our gardens or anything like that. We have to be safe, 100% safe for everything we do. But eat wild animals, that's fine if they're available and safe. We will also have all natives that people are not used to eat them. Also a list with a few different images of those plants that they're edibles and people don't even know. But if it's safe, so they also gonna have a list at their county website, because maybe they're good to eat, but not from that specific region, because the water is contaminated where they're located or something like that. I'm just giving some examples, like brackish water, So we have to check each county website for those information. Even berries, wild berries, that people never ate them before, but they are actually edible. And also for those that we cannot eat too much, but if it's eaten like 10 of them or 5 of them or 20 of them, it's okay. But if they eat a double of that, can be too much, because they contain certain ingredients that might not be good. For example, the Brazilian nut, right, have selenium. Oh, that's really awesome. It's good to take free radicals from the body. But when people eat too much, the normal is to eat 1 or 2 a day. That's it, right? Because also people don't want to get obese. But if people eat too much of that, it's not good, because they can be intoxicated with selenium from that nut. Okay? So for every food, we're going also to have the amount, quantity, so people won't be eating too much of things that they cannot, for being unsafe for some reason. So, talking about construction, every day people gonna have, every construction site gonna have people checking those areas of the work done, of the work being completed. So every team leader gonna have a paper, right, like records book, for them to make their notes of the day. And they're gonna do that with the team present to make sure that leader didn't forget anything. Oh, we did that. Oh, did you put this? Oh, we did that. Remember, did you put this? Okay, so daily they're gonna sit down while they rest a little bit. Okay, they're gonna be doing these reports. Reports gonna be done in records book, not a piece of paper here, piece of paper there, clipboard here, clipboard there. They sit down a proper table, the picnic tables, right, and start doing. So once we're gonna have many teams working in different areas, what they can do is like that. Some can start a little earlier and wash their tools, do their cleanup after. And some can do the other way around. They can clean up their tools first and then do their reports, because they have to sit in the proper tables, because to open the book properly. On the time they don't have tables yet, they can sit on a floor. But it's very important, for them. They can have a little board to put on their lap when they crisscross their legs, right? So that's one idea. So they have a proper wooden board that's lightweight, and so they won't be writing too close to the dirt, right, the soil. Okay, and we have proper reports made. People sign after, one after another. Write their names instead of signing. We're not signing, sorry. They're going to write their names one after another. One line for each couple. I think that's very sustainable. Team's going to have what? Maybe 5 or 10, right? 4 or 8 couples, who knows? And then one line for each couple and date. Couple and date. Couple and date. Okay? I think this way is going to be really good. So first comes the man, then comes the woman, and the woman put the date on the side. Everyone by a column, all the way towards the right of the paper. So all the dates from everybody going to be one beside, one under another, really organized. And the names, according, some are going to be a little bigger than others. But everyone going to write their names only, first and last name. Okay? and soon as people gonna be changing their names, they are going. People that working on construction, they already have their new names. That's it. Okay. All right, because they need to be registered with the organization for them to have training after and work after. We have a process, okay? People coming from refugee camps, for example, people without water, from slums, or people coming from cold areas, they have to start their registration where they're located, right? And already change names and get everything that's organized, because when they arrive at the new location, they will already be given all their new information, right? Their new names and filling up paperwork and everything with their new names, right? That makes sense. Sorry, those are many items, so I don't know if I said, but nothing gonna be under the stairs. No paint lines, no bars, metal bars. We don't need. Everybody already know. We're not playing on the stairs. We are not staying on the stairs. Okay? But kids can play a little bit on the hallway. Yeah, they can play if their parents are watching them. The door is a little open. They can hear them. That part is very important. But not during the 28 weeks. No. Children are going to be inside the apartments with door locked for this year, 2 years, until the end of 2003. Yeah, that's improvement. Sorry. Children are not going to be outside by themselves at any time, anywhere for at least 10 years. Okay, because that's not sustainable, not possible. We are not going to have any chances to have anything happen to our children. Okay, so what we're going to do, they're going to be inside the apartments with their parents, and the door is always locked. Always get inside the apartment, lock the door. Get inside the apartment, lock the door. Go to the laundry room, lock the door. Go to the pool, lock the door. We need to have these practices because some people in very good countries are used to that. Don't lock anything. They go even around the block for a walk, running. They don't even lock, right? But we have to see that we're going to have mixture of families from all over the world because we need different races, different ethnicity everywhere, okay? And some other people might raised in a negative way of getting things or entering, going to places, entering houses and things like that. So what we're going to do, 10 years, lock the doors always and always and forever. Keep locking. Go out, lock. Get in, lock. Always lock. Okay? Never, ever, ever, ever leave the couple's cell phone in the house area or in the pool or anywhere. Always not using. Put inside the bedroom, lock the door. Inside the bedroom, lock the door. Okay? Because we don't know. We are getting adopting kids. We are getting people from so many different places. Okay? So it's very important for us to have our cell phones safe at all times for all years. Okay? And not have anything bad happen to it. You know, and always carry with attention, hold it properly, and keep it home. Okay? So if you're going to an educational site, to a store, don't need, keep it at home. It's safe, you know. So you won't drop it, you know. Don't bring out the house if you don't need. Have it safe. Okay, you have an idea about the time. It's a Saturday afternoon. You're going out, or it's a vacation day. Go out. Keep your cell phone safe. Of course, if you need directions to get you into a place, you're gonna need the like Google Maps, right? Other than that, leave your cell phone home. It's safe, and the cables, always the cables with it. Don't leave the cables in the living room. Okay, keep inside your bedroom. And we are going to have bedrooms with one plug as well. Okay, because that's sustainable. Couples that were very busy can charge their cell phones inside their own bedrooms with the doors locked at night. For elders as well, because elders, if they're really old, so kids won't mess them up. So you have to make sure if they're locking their doors or not. But for very elders, they don't have to lock the doors. So the elders will give the cell phone to the parents to be charged at night, and during the day give to them. Because they have to be communicating with their other children. For their brain to keep working, for them to still continue using the cell phone. All these are very important things. So they won't forget how to use cell phones, place pictures for one another, even though they're going to live close by. But it's important for them to have this contact with cell phone, been using them, so they won't forget how they are used. Okay, for construction, it's very important for all remodeling places being remodeled, and also for every new construction, people to do inside and out. Like I said, at the end of the wall and at the end of the floor, right there on that edge, both teams gonna be cooperating to have a proper finish to it. And also places of being remodeled the same way. You can't stop at the door. You have to do everything inside, and you have to do everything outside. And for places that won't have a basketball court, for example, where they're going to be washing the items with cement. So we can have those water containers, right? Metal containers with water in it, with the concrete under, right? So they will, because the trucks that will be delivering ready cement or ready concrete, they're going to be mixing them, right? All the way, let's say an hour, until they reach that location. They're going to drop it off, right? And fill up everything. They're going to keep going along that day, maybe to one more location, 2 more locations, dropping off in the afternoon with a new driver. So it's very important for us to be rinsing those tools or buckets or whatever place we use, or I don't know, we're going to need wheelbarrows, but everything that was used with cement to have a place to wash and not wash anywhere, because we're going to have gardens. You have to put that in your mind. We're going to have gardens everywhere, fruit trees, woods, right? So the least dust out, it's very important, and wash them in a proper location that will be cemented afterwards. If it's a place that won't have a court, like a basketball court, but which place gonna be cement? A pool area or other places that gonna be cemented afterwards. That makes sense. We can wash right there, that area. Even the paint, right? Gonna be covered anyways, right? And not on a good dirt, good soil. For the trucks that will be dropping off cement or concrete, so they're gonna have a route schedule every day where they're gonna go, change drivers in the middle of the way, and keep going, dropping off, maybe in 1, 2, as I said earlier, but they're gonna have a schedule, proper route to follow, with proper paperwork as well, and everything checked on cameras as well. All right, every residential community gonna have that straight mop. We're gonna see a better name, or if we keep that name, I don't know, squeegee, squeegee. They have the rubber on the bottom for any access, and we're never gonna have that much water, because as I said, our flooring gonna be have really good drainage. But just to dry faster, right, after storm, people can do that quickly. We're not going to have anything like that. See that? I don't even know what's that for on a wall. That's on a wall. Look, what we need that for? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to have only things that are established and really needed. Okay, so we already talked about those metal frames there that we need on the bottom. We need plates like this one here. On the sides they have hooks, but on the middle the squeegee, the mop can pass just to scoop out a little something, not to drive faster. Okay, so we are not going to have that type of drainage, as I already said. Not needed for mosquitoes proliferation. It's not needed. We're gonna have just plain cement, and the water from the store gonna drain right there. Not this, I said. Did you see a gun there? That's forbidden for people to have anything that does, or even cement, out of place. You see in the end there, they didn't caulk. You see the team that was doing this work? Look, even a tape, it's attached under the thing. We cannot even take that tape out. I did not have a scissors with me. You believe that? And this is so bumpy. This floor here is the type of floor I think is really sustainable. You can have it instead of tile. Really sustainable, durable, but not bumpy. They make it neat and smooth, and then at the end, all bumpy. No, needs to be really properly done. Okay, all these little metal screws there attaching this little frame, the metal frame, needs to be a very, very strong material. Won't rust along decades. Okay, you see here pieces of stucco, they touch up and drop it. We're not, that's forbidden for us. You're not going to have, you see the finishing here on the white trim? Very bad. We're not going to have that as well. Look at the floor. Even pieces of plastic that they didn't make the floor properly, or they didn't blow. So every flooring before being done needs what? Proper sweep and then blowing. Right before they do it, they need to blow. They continue next day, blow again to make sure the wind didn't bring anything at night. Okay, they keep blowing. If it's a windy, very windy day, it's better don't do it then. Or do the parts that are not on the wind. But we have to do everything done in a real neat way. Okay, those are some doors that already got scratched, and not even people living there yet. You see this ending of this white part? How bad was it? Did you see? Okay, we're not going to have that as well. Okay, all apartments. For the apartment numbers and the building numbers, and the sign for the property, gonna have a color. Okay, for the whole property the same. So we can have properties that are nearby each other. One can have everything green, one can have everything blue, one can have everything brown. Okay, not like this one, but more like the other community I showed, the Harbor Cay, on the other videos I showed. For example, for the owners, right? And the apartment directors. So the cameras that are recording, gonna know, oh, building in green, oh, that's that community. Building blue, oh, this community. Building brown. So we know, I think these basic colors. So let's say we can have the brown for sure, the clear blue, and clear green. And then we have the royal blue and the strong green, right? Royal green. Okay? So we have these 4 different colors, and brown, right? And we can have the brown, so 5 colors for all those apartments and the buildings, to be different for every community that are nearby, because security guards gonna be checking other security guards, right? And avoid their faces. We have to find a way to put cameras to see what they are doing on the computer, but not their faces, because they're gonna meet at the same universities, the same educational sites, so we're gonna avoid that. And if somebody have to step out because if they did something wrong, they don't know who is who, but they will know as soon as the computer turn on. They're gonna be check what the person is doing. Okay, and I think people of their same community gonna check the computers when they're open. You see, when a person is looking at the cell phone or the computer, so then it's okay. We know who is that. We have a special couple going to be checking their face and what they're doing. But when they're checking each other, I think we have to see these details with security people to help us out, right? Of course. So in this case, we check both things: what they are doing on a computer, if they're working or just doing nothing, looking around, okay? And also who is working there, and who gonna be checking those two different things once they're gonna meet at university and also their own residential community. Okay, for every county gonna have a place where leftover materials gonna be signed up. So on the same way that new construction gonna be really carefully items listed, so we won't waste anything and won't miss anything. That's very important. So imagine after almost everything is done, something is missing, not enough for this or to do that, okay? But for constructions that are already happening and people are going to be trained, maybe they already ordered their items, mostly for construction that already started. So let's focus on that. They already purchased their items, already drop off their items, right? Okay, so once from that point of notice day, they're going to be, all the workers going to be really well trained. They are not going to waste materials anymore as before. So might be leftover materials from those constructions that already started. But on a new lands or any new, completely new construction, all the materials going to be purchased properly. Not too much, not too little, right there what it needs. Because if everyone going to have proper training, what's going to happen? We won't miss anything and won't waste anything. For the electricity, the old electricity type, everything gonna be changed completely. Why is that? Because gonna be everything gonna have wires connected to solar panels that are really, really, really durable, and nothing old gonna be reused. Because some are too old, they are not done in a proper pattern. We're gonna have the proper pattern for all countries exactly the same. Okay, they have too many wires, right? They have the earth wire, they have this and that, like I think it's 4 or 6, don't even know. So we're not going to use anything old on the walls, on the boxes, electric boxes, on anywhere. Okay, everything gonna be new. So for buildings that are existing buildings, they have to empty out the people of that building during the day, so they get everything done. Okay, so they're gonna have good, strong teams, so the people can sleep there at night, even though they don't have electricity. That's fine. They're just gonna sleep early. Okay. We are avoiding to send people to hotels, but if it's really needed, they can get 2 days on these existing buildings, okay, and for one night, and people really focus right there, get the whole building done. Many people pull out all the wires, connect the new ones, done. Of course, the solar panels need to be installed ahead, and everything else as possible during the day. And then in one full day, they make the transition from one to another. Okay? They can even leave one light somewhere, or have, I don't know what would be the most sustainable. But I think that's fine. Change during the day, 7 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the afternoon, and get it all done. And then connect it to solar panels. Then the other half of the house, for example, that's another idea. Get all done and all connected to the solar panels. So this detail we have to see for the steps, how to do it. But we're not going to ask, I think that's improvement. Let's do it this way. We're not going to ask families to go to hotels to finish any job, because they won't be needed. We do it during the day, plan ahead really properly. with exception of Saturday and Sunday, because Saturday mornings are work at the gardens, our own food, and in the afternoon for us to relax a little bit, right? People that want to be part of teams, or people that have to do extra volunteer teams because of negative practices they did in the past, that's fine. They can do that. And Sundays, family days, they go out or go to the pool, playground, or depend the age of their kids, right? Okay. So, and also for pouring cement inside dry walls, okay? That, I don't know if the family has to leave because of the smell until that cement or concrete dries out. That, I think, will be possible. We have to check, how long they have to be out of the house. The best is before the new families come, the apartments, their building will already be done. And then the next building, keep doing like that. Because we want to keep families at their property, not in hotels for now. So the other thing we can do for existing communities, okay, so you empty out one whole building, okay, and families gonna go to the building that's already completed, for example. Okay, they finish the whole building and everything. Okay, paint, electricity, tile, and everything done. Okay, paint done. Because for the paint, people need to have a break as well for the scent to go out. They open the windows every morning. If it's a rainy day, they do the best they can with fans. Okay, everything done. New families come in, or families that are moving, or families that live nearby. Okay, so it's very, very important. That's another department too, but please bring over. For families that are stuck somehow, or didn't have jobs for a long time, or didn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend for a long time, or didn't have too many friends for a long time, or obese, or in every sickness, diabetes, cholesterol, ADD, ADHD, everything else. They're gonna move to another place, in another city, to renew life, because that helps to renew life. Once we have solar panel, we don't need those things. Every building, inside buildings that are too big, like hotels, right, like this one here that I'm cleaning there, they will have the building number and also the apartments, from this to that, okay, like that sign you just saw. That's important. The other thing is that you saw that panel there with all the electric meters from each apartment. You won't have that because everyone's going to produce their own electricity, right? And use wisely as possible, so they have in winter time and for the whole family along the days. We don't need that. The other thing that we won't need is notes. Get this checked by that company, this company, that person. We're not going to have anything like that because they're not needed. Everything gonna be checked when they need on the people that are gonna be working that items on that time. Okay, and every community gonna have all their personnel living right there. Even for sky raisers, we're not using the word skyscraper. Sky risers, I think it sounds better. They're gonna have specialists living right there. Okay, and for every new generation, if nobody sign up for that position, the sons and daughters of that couple that were doing that before are going to be the ones doing, because they are the ones that know the most, supposedly know the most, because they work with them. Like teenagers already, right? And they went working with their parents quite a few times. So they're the ones, in case nobody else sign up for one or another position. And items, materials to fix elevators gonna be placed in all big cities that have them, because small cities or don't have elevators. Cities that have only one or another elevator, put the whole building down. Will be worth it along the millenniums, right? But if many, like big cities that have many sky risers, then makes sense. Have factories to make items to fix them, then makes sense. Okay, but not if it's only one or two or even four. Put the whole building down because it's sustainable. We're not bringing pieces from far away. Of course, if they are close by to a big city, then it's okay. But if they're too far away, make no sense. So everything, I'm just giving ideas. Everything we're gonna have specific written sentences for everything we're gonna be doing. They need to be positive. They need to be sustainable. We are not going to produce things to be sent far away. That make no sense. Okay, unless they're right there by the train station, right in a county that's really close by, then it's okay. But for everything, we're gonna be checking all these details. So we need very smart people to be checking all these details so we can add to our books. Both of our books, the 28 volunteer weeks with all these details, and also the Constitution book. They're two different books because we don't need to be going over and over the 28 books anymore. After all is done. But we're going to have them in place, printed in all universities, all adult education, all schools, and even preschools, let's say, can have them one copy for preschool. So all four educational sites, we have a copy of them. For historical evidences, because they're needed, and if people want to check sometimes, have an idea how the work was done. And every place gonna have the international constitution books, even residential communities, right? For people to look, they're gonna have the mini libraries, right? The small libraries, so they can have them too. That will be good, important, sustainable book that we're gonna love, a book that's gonna be part of our lives. Okay, for everything, for regular practice, for spiritual guidance, for everything that we need, right? A very good, sustainable humanity. In resume, we are not going to use those masks for real cement dusty areas. Okay? We're going to use the cone ones that fit and no holes by the chin or by the nose are placed. I don't know their name, don't have their image, but we're going to figure out the real good ones. Because if you work in construction before, I work in construction before, the nose hurt a lot the next day, and people get really sick. They don't even know why they're sick, because they're so used to breathing, inhaling cement dust. Okay? All right. The other thing that we are going to have PE cubbies, okay? Because it's very important for people to be able to stretch or move, okay? Independent on their clothes. So they're just gonna have numbers, and students gonna have proper numbers for along the year, so they're good. The little tiny signs with their numbers are gonna last for many decades. Be really strong, well attached. Each student gonna have a number, and they can put their clothes or sweaters, because outside's cold. Sometimes, in cold areas, they're gonna be doing workout inside on winter time, and more outside in the sun during other seasons. Okay? So we are going to have PE cubbies for everyone. We are also going to have pool cubbies in educational size. People can change their clothes, put bathing suit, and go swim. What we are not going to have are lockers. We are not using this word because we are not going to have actual key for anybody and lockers for anyone. Because no one gonna have anything expensive or cell phones or anything like that. Adults gonna leave their cell phones at home on that day. Bracelets gonna be removable and waterproof, right? Okay, they're just gonna have their sweaters if it's a cold day, or just the regular clothes on their cubbies with the numbers. That's it, okay? And the uniforms gonna have their names or number. We're still checking on that, because when they grow up, we don't want those names to be wasted. But if it's a number, might be very useful, because people gonna know for PE, for swimming, number match the cubby number, right? So that will make sense. I think that's the most sustainable. The clothes, the towel for the pool have a number, the bathing suit have a number, and they can be passed on for other kids of that same body height, let's say, right? And gonna match the cubby number, so it will be easier for the security guards watching those kids, that they take out and put back things on their own cubbies only. Okay? All right. So the man gonna be if it's a couple, right? Monitoring the cameras. The man gonna watch the boys, and the wife right beside him gonna watch the girls. Okay? Everybody have their underwear. Nobody gonna take off their underwear. If it's the pool, they're gonna take a shower. Then it's different. But for regular PE classes, that's fine. The husband and the wife checking. The kids gonna be right beside each other, right there, looking at the computer. One or two different computers, right? And for pool swimming classes, when they leave the pool, they're gonna take a proper shower with proper doors, okay? And the security guard won't be looking inside those shower areas, of course, only in the common area. But they have to put their underwear inside the shower area, so they have to dry themselves, and the kids and adults of all ages dry themselves inside the shower area, put their underwear and brassieres on, and then when they go outside, they can put their clothes. So the shower is free for the next student to go take a shower. That's very sustainable and durable and positive. That will be very good. Okay? The other details, we have to say how the shower is going to be built. The shower areas for the pool, and I have gonna be small areas like the toilet bathrooms, right? Regular toilet bathroom, small. So The kids can go in and out very fast. And I think the most sustainable is to have fabric curtains or thick plastic curtains. Okay, I don't know the details yet, but not hard plastic, because it's very hard to be washing one by one, and they're gonna be used really often. So gonna get some scum, let's say, I don't know if that's the right word, from the soap on those walls. And if they're curtain, like cotton, synthetic curtains, they put in the washers, dry and clean, twice a month or so, every other week. Put a section of them or all the boys or all the girls in the other week, wash them and line dry, put the fan on the weekend, Monday they're all dry, right? Yeah, that's the most sustainable, because the cotton is not sustainable because it takes time to dry from one shower to another. They're going to be wet too much. And it's hard to have a cotton with chemicals. Yeah, let's see which one is the most sustainable. But I think for that specific need, 100% synthetic fabric will be better to be used as a curtain for the swimming pool shower areas. Okay? All right. And the inside material gonna be 100% durable and very strong materials, made with very strong materials. So the walls and everything, because it's gonna have one shower after another, the whole year round, because on summer vacation breaks, they're gonna be used too. For summer for sure, right? For some extra classes, the students, the parents work, gonna be there having fun in a safe location, as we already said many times. Okay. Also for nature events and hotels, that's gonna be very popular. People gonna be coming in and out a lot. Okay. For hotels, I think we can have the hard doors if we're gonna have people washing them, right? Because it's going to be one more thing for people to be scrubbing, and cannot be a plastic that is easily scratched. So we have to see really well what type of material we're going to use. So let's improve for all these showers, the pool showers, the best material, okay? Let's make a study about on 100% synthetic fabric and hard plastic doors, those two types of doors, and then we make a decision and I will let you know. I think that's the best. All right, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think we got everything covered. Pool area and outside kitchen, inside kitchen, none of them gonna need signs of any type, because everyone gonna already know about them. The pool's gonna have the tile with the depth. That's important, okay? But not with sentences explaining about this or that or rules, regulations, because for all countries it will be the same. Even people traveling will know. But I think for the deepness, people going to hotels, some pools are huge, some pools are small. It's good to have that tile like we have here in Florida. Written how much is the depth for the pool for both ends, right? The shallow and the deeper area. The pools for residential communities and also for schools and preschools, residential community first. So they start with a 1/2 meter, I think is good for many kids, and then after with time go to 1 meter. And I think up to 1 meter and a half, I think will be plenty. If anyone has anything better than that, please let me know. But I think that's a good basic idea, so nobody gonna be drowned or have too deep of a place. All preschools gonna be really shallow, right? And adults gonna be out of the water. And for schools, pre-elementary and on and above, can go up to 1.5 meters for them to start practicing how to dive and things like that, and practice the air, to hold the air, but also how to dive in a proper way. Because if people learn since they're kids how to dive, they're not going to go straight in the water, but they make that little circle and dive going on. So if we dive in this way that I'm saying, we don't need very deep pools. Even on a deep area, people can dive, okay? Because no one, as I said, gonna dive through, like trampolines, high, tall trampolines. These are not needed. What we need is to learn how to dive in a sustainable way. Make a curve round, and then goes with the pool, along the pool, right, in an horizontal line, and not down. Okay? All right. Okay. So all residential communities and restaurants gonna have a straight grill connected to their solar panels. So probably won't cook much on winter time in cold countries, but they can have something different on other months of the year. We need some examples of different types of grill, and learn a little bit about the electricity they use. And so people gonna, at the residential communities, I think they can use once a month or so, right, with their families or group of families that want to use it on that specific day. I think once a month is sustainable, right? And at their houses they use their own electricity, that's fine. On summer months, maybe on vacation days, they can do twice a month maybe, right? So we have to see details like that, what's sustainable. Because the electricity, we have the solar panel, a lot of power during the summer and summer vacation, okay? And none during winter vacation for sure. Those 2 weeks of winter vacation, because we don't need them. We are not going to have much power unless it's a warm country, tropical, subtropical country. But for cold countries, I think we avoid the grill if we don't have enough power from the solar panel. I think most as we focus to warm up the pool and not the kitchen by the pool, right? Okay. All the kitchens by the pool and this grill needs 2 sinks, okay? 2 sinks to wash their materials, their dishes, and to put them away, okay? And that will be really sustainable. The other thing is that how we are going to have the solar panels connected to the grill, to the heating for the pool, and for this movie we want Friday and Saturday evening. So we are all sustainable, okay? The other thing is that we're going to repeat. The idea is to repeat, because some property is going to have hundreds of families, right? About 240 we said, right, for each community, no more than that, because I think up to 240 it's sustainable right there, okay? So for watching the movie, so the movie they have on Friday, repeat on Saturday. The documentary they have on Friday, repeat on Saturday. So we have different families attending and the same movie offered on that weekend. And we're going to try, to repeat the list as possible so people can have different movies for 2 or 4 years scheduled this way, and also documentaries for 2 or 4 years. Hopefully 4, right? If we have very smart people to make good movies, right? And documentaries can be very short ones about own country, about other countries, interesting facts, about the beautiful places, natural beautiful places, so we can learn in a fun way, right? Things that we don't have to learn, but for people to do something different, they can learn about different things, right? Areas, regions, and things like that. Thank you. I think we're done now. The pool shower for the residential community, we can be a little hidden, not right in the front where everybody gonna be seen, but a little bit on the side, right? But not completely hidden or closed, because we need to see who is there and who is not. The main thing is just to take the chlorine out. What I'm saying is not right there in the middle of the way, but like most people already have them, a little bit on the side, right? And with a faucet, right, to turn in and on, very easily to be used. For the communities, the pool areas that already have pool umbrellas for their tables, I think if they have a plain solid color, they can keep them until they are damaged, but no more will be produced. I think that's very sustainable. And for every new construction, we are going to have masonry built covered areas. A little bit, okay, so maybe little gazebos, one or two, right? That are very, very strong, very well made to last forever. Okay, with some tables under it. So people won't be moving tables. Oh, go this way, go that way, go this way. Oh, sun is here, sun is there, because that's not good. Too much moving along the years are not sustainable for the furniture to last long time. So we can have proper round picnic tables, for example, or rectangle picnic tables with benches, because benches sit many people, right? Benches that sit 5 can even sit 8. So we can have something that will match the construction. But I think that will be good. Little gazebos or little covered area, right? That are pretty strong, durable, positive, and sustainable. That will be awesome. Who wants to be part of this construction team? Woohoo! Very nice. Okay, I'm going to show a few things that we are going to have. So we are going to have a very simple soap dispenser like this one. Okay, open up, put it in. You know, you can have a little key just to avoid the kids or anybody to put bad things. So we're never gonna have things like that. You have to fix properly. The sign already talked about. And we're not going to have lights that, you know, very tiny. Some countries have just one little finger like that. We're gonna have big lights, light switch like this one. Very big and strong. We're not going to have paint, you know, a stain. Everything that's not good needs to be replaced. Okay, we are going to have this type of toilet, transparent, with a little simple key, okay, for nobody to mess them up, because they stay there for a long time instead of small rolls, you know, those long cases that have like 3 or 4 rows, small rows. We're not going to use that. This is the one we are going to use, because they're very long. We already can see when it's really at the end, and be replaced only at the very end. So we are not going to have plastic covers. They're not needed, because they're going to be very neat, well made, and that's no need. We are not going to have toilets like that. You see this one? It bangs. You see? We're going to have the one that slowly closes down. We just touch here a little bit, touch here, and then from here on, slows down by itself. Okay, that's the type we're going to have. And of course, we're going to have the new matching for everything, and not this old style. We're going to have the one that's very strong pressure. You know, you press a little bit, done. For number 1 and for number 2. We're not going to have any signs like that in the bathroom. Bathroom, just painted. So for old bathrooms that used to have a shower, we're going to take out, completely out. We're not leaving anything like that. You see, or this or that, because they're not needed. No one going to have trash cans in the back, because I already said that. These sound good, but I don't know, maybe a little too big. I think we can have more smaller ones, and we have to decide on what design. Some can be round like that, and some can be a little straight, but I think we can have smaller ones. So just for you to compare, here's my hand, right? So this is one too big, look, 10 and 20 centimeters still here. And here's the side, you see? Okay, so 10 centimeters about that, so we have 22 here more or less. I don't think it's sustainable. I think it's a little too big, so we can improve. Everything gonna be improved. Like you see, things like that gonna be scraped, properly taken out, replaced, all right? And every door, the laundry door, pool, bathrooms, need to be closed at night. Lights turn off to avoid any, even little frogs, tree frogs, or anything like that, because sometimes they go to moisture. We've opened a little bit during the day, so they're properly dry, right? But regular showers can be done outside, as already said. We are not going to have this type of structure on a ceiling because they can keep moisture. See these holes there? We need the proper masonry built, like that structure, not like this that's right on the side of it. You see, we don't need that. Okay? So for us to have really sustainable, because not even pressure clean. If we're gonna wash this with pressure clean, we're gonna get water inside and doesn't seem sustainable. Okay, thank you. So thank you so much for this great opportunity, for helping us to have this handbook and everything, anything that's not listed. Please have the titles ready so we can write about them and have a very, very complete and detailed handbook. The handbook is separated in two main parts: remodeling and new. Okay, and the rules and guidelines for both of them. Okay, all right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for helping us. Talk to you soon. The other thing is that we are going to have the tool rooms and the laundry rooms and some skates and for people to share. I think we can have some skates and scooters, and maybe 10 of each, right? One for teens and scooters, children or adults can use them, right? To have some fun, different fun sometimes. I think they're durable, sustainable, if they're made in a very strong way. They're gonna also have paper and online sign-ins and sign-outs. I think that's really sustainable as well. Okay? Just a very few. And also the ball, the things for the pool that we're gonna share and people are not going to bring them to the house. Okay? The scooters and skateboards, families can take them out of the property, but only I don't know the time yet. We have to think about that, when they can start doing that. If after 2 years or when they can do that. To be sustainable and safe, right? So we know where they're. For building the office is going to be a regular office with 2 desks, right? And for a couple to be working there. They're going to be open, I think, twice a week from 4 to 6 p.m. That's plenty because the elders are there and people also going to be coming home, the couples, right? After work and study, and they can do anything else. And couples gonna know already how to do things online, but for the elders, it will be good to be open some days a week. I think those 2 days are plenty. They're not going to be open Saturday and Sunday for sure. And the elders gonna be learning with time how to use their cell phones for anything it's needed. Work orders won't be done for long time, but if happens for a problem of any type, they're gonna be properly sent online, to be done online. So it's forbidden to put coffee grounds or leftover food that was bad in the drain. Okay, everything gonna be brought to the compost. We're not going to have that those materials inside regular kitchen sinks. Okay, and they're gonna be used outside. And for composting, every different region gonna have a compost that works for them. So some will be hay, some can be with containers if they're close to wildlife, because wildlife can easily jump walls this height that we're gonna have, right, 2 meters wall. So the volunteers, the organization volunteers, gonna say exactly how the composting gonna be done for each of those communities according to the region, and also how to be sustainable, because we need the compost to break down fast as possible, to give room for a new batch, right? A new arriving items. So, and also what's gonna be done with bones, fish bones, chicken bones, okay? If we're going to burn them or we're going to crumble them up and use them. So those are the details that we need to check. So if you please already search up for the bones, what's the most sustainable from fish and chicken for us to do it. And for the compost, regular compost, big ones for leaves and branches, and also for small kitchen peelings and things like that. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you so much for your cooperation and for writing everything down, and please write the items, anything that's still needed. Thank you and have a great day. And please put all the items in alphabetical order for everything, because that's the easiest way for us to find if we already said about that item, and for people that will be checking up those items. And also templates for small properties, big properties, and medium and very large properties. Templates for the engineer plant and for all these details I'm saying for the handbook. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your cooperation.